Ahoy there! It is the 22nd of January 2025, and in this video we're going to look at various weather stuff going on around the globe, starting off with the US, where there is a crazy cold blast going on, dipping down right to the southern plains and off into the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, it is still the Gulf of Mexico, and the snow has been settling in Louisiana into northern Florida. And if you really want to escape the snow, you actually got to go north. So it is currently nighttime over the US, but we can take a look back at yesterday's polar orbiting satellite image to take a look at what things look like. And there are some pretty amazing things, as there always are. But this is actually the morning view. I'm going to switch to the afternoon. Aqua Modus will go over afternoon view. And that really shows the thick cloud band of this deep cold front that's tucked down right into the Gulf of Mexico and the southern and eastern US states. And the snow spreads up all the way up from, I think, from Nova Scotia all the way down to Louisiana. But up in the north, after that cold blast moved through, you can see a line of snow here, but most of it is actually, there isn't too much snow in the middle of the Great Plains. But if we go up to Lake Michigan, you see some really excellent examples of lake effect snow. And actually on the lake itself, there's some ice that's being formed here that you can just make out. And these smaller lakes are frozen. But you can see the clouds, the west winds are coming in, hitting the lake. There's getting a lot of fluxes off the lake, producing these clouds and then dumping snow on the eastern side of the lake. And if we look at the snow depth, we'll actually see, even though we can't really tell through the clouds, we'll be able to see that there is snow on one side of the lake and not really on the other. So this is actually the US Forestry Service snow depth map. I don't really know how this is worked out, whether it's done by satellite or, I mean, it looks like it must be, but you can see the beginning of that snow depth along the Gulf Coast. And actually this is pretty deep, it looks like, over New Orleans. So I will check for some videos to see, there must be stuff coming out of there showing the snow on the ground. But if we bring in the key, we'll see how deep that is. And that kind of dark blue looks like it's 9.8 to 20 inches. So yeah, that's pretty solid. And then that tucks into the Florida Panhandle. And we were looking at the lake up here, Lake Michigan. And just to show that in their snow depth analysis, you can see that there is all that. See how deep the snow is on the eastern side of the lake, and then on the western side there's just nothing. So that lake effect snow is showing itself. And if you zoom out, you can see the general pattern of the lake effect snow, which is accumulated over various different events, but it's mostly on the eastern sides of the lake because you get that prevailing kind of northwesterly flow to westerly flow, which is the really cold one that produces that lake effect. So as always, this is a great image, but we want to go higher resolution. So I'm going to jump in to see if there's some more detailed satellite imagery. Well, the answer is kind of. We are cutting through, the satellite has passed over Sentinel-2. It's just clipped in to the eastern side of Lake Michigan. So you can see the snow showers piling in off the lake. The coast is in here somewhere. You know what, if I just remove it, we'll see. So you kind of see where the coast is. And then we bring in the satellite imagery. You see the snow showers, they're fluxing all that moisture off the lake. And then they hit the coast, and then you can kind of see them dispersing, and then it clears up and you can see all the snow covered areas over here. Pretty neat. And we can take a look at that same image in 3 dimensions using the 3D option in your browser. I'm just going along the eastern side of Lake Michigan here over the snow-covered fields and the clouds. Of course, we don't get the clouds in 3D, but you got to use your imagination, I guess. Actually, if we jump forward a bit further to the north, you'll see some of the ice on the lakes, which also looks quite nice. And you can also tell that the ice is kind of forming on the coast as that cold air hits it, and then it kind of breaks up as it goes into the lake, or whatever lake this one is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it really seems like this event in New Orleans is really historic. Somebody here, Peyton Malone WWL-TV, has done a time lapse of the snow dumping, and there they got 12 inches in the French Quarter. And that really shows that that little snow analysis was pretty accurate, I guess. Yeah, amazing event. And here people are having a snowball fight on Bourbon Street. Let's take a look at the forecast of this historic event. Currently, the snow is dipping down into the Florida Panhandle and up through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then off towards Maryland and up there. But on the southern edge, there's actually freezing rain being predicted by the European Center model here. And then we've got ice pellets further to the north. So there's snow, ice pellets, freezing rain according to this model. And the current snow depth being predicted by the model is this. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to escape the snow, then you go north. You probably have to go north to maybe Jackson, Mississippi, to get out of. There's probably just a dusting up there, perhaps. And you can see it's panning around across the country associated with that sort of stalled cold front. And you can confirm that pretty quick with the webcams. Just turn on the webcams and check out all of the area that is being analyzed as having snow. If you click on them, you should be able to see the snow cover, but it is nighttime, so a bit difficult to see, but you can definitely see that there is snow there. And then if you go north, just out of the snow, or out of where it's being analyzed, yeah, there's probably, is there a dusting? Maybe a dusting there, but certainly hardly anything. So let's look at what happens as we go forward. By the way, you can also see the lake effect snow here. It actually, you can see how the snow takes the shape of the lakes, but it's actually just shifted very slightly to the east. So it's actually, look at that. That's interesting. So all of the lakes have their little patch of snow coming off them. All right, so let's move forward here. The snow slowly edges its way off the coast, and the snow, it actually remains, it's going to hit the warm Gulf Stream and turn to rain, but you can see it actually does penetrate quite a long way off the coast. And moving forward, then you're caught in all of this cold air that's cut down over the country, remaining below freezing across the Gulf states. So that snow is going to linger, and we'll be able to see that in the snow depth. It's going to linger for a little while. So I'll check what the snow depth is looking like in, say, in a few days. So we're going into sort of Friday here, and you can see the snow stays. I mean, this is going to be iced up for a while, for a good few days, which is really, really unusual. When does it actually melt in New Orleans? It is staying all through the week, eventually predicting melting on Sunday. So that's it for now. I just wanted to have a quick look at that. And let me know in the comments if you're experiencing some of this snow, the lake effect, or down in the deep south. Peace.